Hey y'all, happy Monday, my savvy service providers, scaling to 10K months and part-time hours. How are y'all doing? Today we are talking about what I did differently to 3x my annual revenue. And this is just such a fun, important conversation because it's going to weave in a little my story. Um, I was on the struggle bus for a while, and that is something I'm actually, in retrospect, very thankful for. And it helps me be a better coach, and it helps me so much more to support my clients. Like I love when my clients double, triple, or 14x their revenue and they do it really quickly. That's great. And that was not my experience. I struggled for a while. And so if I could go back, if I could give myself one piece of advice, it would be the thing we're talking about today. That is probably not going to be what you think it is. But if you join live, feel free to ask your questions, leave your comments. Feel free to tell me what you think it's going to be. I would love to hear your guesses. But that is what we're talking about today. Before we dive in, how was y'all's weekend? It is beautiful in Charleston. It is sunny. I got hot. The sun just like beams through my window right now, which is amazing, but I have to put on short sleeves. I'm like, oh, it's really warm. But we had a lovely weekend. It was my husband's birthday. Um, we had a nice date night. It's like my favorite date night. Our babysitter fell through. Some really great friends of ours took the girls. They just live here in the neighborhood. So we dropped them off at their house and we sat on the porch. And I had wine, which I never do. Like I stopped drinking a few years ago, but I felt like having a glass of wine. So I had a glass of wine. We had a seafood quiche from Kudzu Bakery, which is like, that is my favorite date. Just sitting on our screened-in porch, like it was very, very nice. Then his birthday was Sunday, so he went fishing most of the day. He took a couple of the two out of the three girls. So I had one-to-one time with my youngest, so that was nice. And we had dinner at my in-laws, and we ate our Kudzu Bakery cake. This is like an advertisement for Kudzu Bakery. Love their stuff. But they have this nice like caramel cake that years ago I made like a 7-layer caramel cake for his birthday when we were dating, and it's like never again, never again. I'm just gonna buy it. But it was a very lovely weekend. We did some volunteer work, picked up a lot of trash. It was great. Just again, could not love this weather more in Charleston right now. Like it is the perfect time of year. Um, so hopefully y'all are doing great, and wherever you are, you've got amazing weather too. And we are heading into the home stretch, getting ready for Thanksgiving. So, quick housekeeping. If you join live, say hello, ask your questions. You get entered to win a free one-to-one coaching session. This is a thank you for being here. I know it is not easy to get somewhere and binge long form content, so I just really want to thank you, and we'll give this to someone who has not had the pleasure of connecting with. Also, we're full through the end of the year. I'm booking out into February at this point, so that is very exciting. So go ahead and grab your consult. We could slot you in. We could talk about what working together could look like. That way you can finish out the year, know your plan going into 2026, have your spot locked in, all that good stuff. So I'll drop the link later, but that's what we've got going on. We've filled up pretty quickly here. So just painting. And I feel naked because I'm missing my picture right there. I updated it with my daughter's most recent school picture. So I'm like, that looks kind of funny back there, but we'll hang that back up soon. But okay, pulled it up in the group. Here we are. Um, so let's dive in. And I want to know your thoughts because I know it is so easy to see me as someone now who, has gone from a $35 an hour offer. That was 10 years ago. Like, y'all, I've been in business supporting clients. In January, it will be 10 years. Crazy. But I started at that time with $35 an hour, and I'm now selling out and booking a wait list for a $9,000 offer. At my highest point with my low ticket services, I was at about 79,000 a year, and that was like working my ASS off. That was really hard. I had multiple kids home. Like 79K was like my limit there. And so what I'm talking about today has very much helped me cross over 230K consistently working while my kids are at school. So that's really exciting. But it's all this to say that, again, this wasn't always the case. That switch, that, reaching over $100,000, I know is kind of this tipping point that we think it's like this, more hustle or more work or things have to be better And what I'm talking about today, the thing that really, if I look back and what I would do differently, I'm going to like tell it out. I'll tell you in a minute. I know I'm teasing it out, but there is one piece of advice. If I could change anything, if I could go back to previous Jordan, almost, 4.5 years ago when I started one-on-one coaching, um, it would not be anything related to my funnel. It would not be anything related to my offer suite. It wouldn't be related to anything with strategy, because you can pour thousands of dollars into all of that. You can hire courses, you can hire programs, you can do masterminds, you can do all those things with the templates and copy paste and the Reels memberships, but like you don't have this one thing, this one shift I'm talking about today. Your revenue will always stay capped. And I know that is a very strong opinion. People are like, no, Jordan. And maybe you can for a short term bust past that. But what I know to be true, what I've seen after coaching countless clients to double, triple, 14x their revenue is that this fundamental thing has to be there. And again, like I named this, how I 3x my revenue, but what I really wanted to name it was like advice I would go back and tell myself. When I pivoted to like a $35 or from a $35 an hour low ticket done for you bookkeeping offer to high ticket one-to-one, I wish I had known this thing. So feel free. I know we got some people on here live, but if you want to guess what the thing is, I know so many women who hire me, so many smart, capable, badass, so good at what they do, service providers think it has to do with the high ticket offer, the flawless funnel, the right certification, the right amount of experience, the perfect ad strategy, trending reels or content that is just exactly right. And yes, all of those things are important. Like I literally work on that with my one-on-one clients every single day. Like I've already been in Boxer twice today, 3 times maybe, and I'll definitely be in there again. My clients get very high touch one-to-one support with all of this because that's what we're doing. It's literally creating the offer that's the foundation, creating the offer suite, creating the funnel. All of that is so important. So please do not hear that it's not. I'm not saying just change this one thing and then go sit on the couch. Like all of that stuff is so important. But what makes those things actually work is what we're talking about today. What actually helps them convert and scale, and the thing underneath all of it is this advice that if I had to start over, if I had to go back 5 years, I would tell my previous self. And that is, I've been teasing it out, self-trust. Self-trust changes everything. And it's the thing you cannot buy from anyone. And it is why I only offer one-to-one support. It's why when my clients hire me, they get results that don't make sense when they've tried other things, when they've done other courses, programs, whatever. It's why they can have like insane unicorn results because of this piece. And we're going to dive into this because it's literally the foundation of a sustainable business. This definitely is a skill set. It's something we can curate and build and create more of. It's not something you're like born with or you're not born with. Like this is something, I don't care what your background is. I don't care what you believe is or isn't possible for you. When you get this and you like fundamentally trust yourself is when you can pop the top off in your business, whether you want 10K months, whether you want 50K months, whether you want 300K months, it doesn't matter. But anything else you're doing has to have self-trust at the basis of it. Like without this self-trust, you will second guess everything. You will second guess your offers. You'll second guess your pricing. You'll second guess that consult you had. You'll second guess your contracts, your level of support, your pricing, your funnel, your marketing, your, like even last week, I had 2 conversations with different business owners about logos, branding, signs. You will question all of that stuff that fundamentally like is part of everything else. And you will question every little thing, whether it's a logo or your content or should I have said that? Like you'll never feel like what you're doing is enough. And this is why it's such a not sexy thing. It's not something you can consult out. It's not something you can buy. Like we literally do this with my one-to-one work. It's why I call what I do a partnership. It is why my clients, stay with me for years. And it's no mistake that all of those clients who've been with me for years are multiple 6 and 7 figure business owners because of this. Their strategy, their offers are really not different than anyone else I talk to. We don't have some crazy strategy behind this closed door that when you hire me, I unlock all the secrets. It literally comes down to their self-trust in themselves and unhooking and creating more self-trust at every single level. because the overarching theme, if I had to go back in time, what I would tell myself, that theme, I wish I trusted myself more. I wish I would not have relied so heavily on external things. I did a $9,000 course. I did over $4,000 group mastermind. I put all of this trust, all of this safety, all of this like needing something in someone else and some other offer that had the like secret or the thing. And what I really needed was self trust. And that's when I hired my own one to one coach. I have just renewed with her for a 12th time. Like my strategy has been the same since I've hired her, but my offers have been the same. But the level of self trust I have has gotten so deep. And at every single level and layer, it just deepens and grows. And that is why my results just keep compounding. It's why my clients keep seeing ROIs. They get bigger and bigger and bigger, even with the same offers, even if it's the same strategies. Like we'll tweak them a little bit here and there, but it's not like we're throwing them out the window after a year and like starting over. This is why their ROIs compound so much, because that level of trust, I think, of like roots going down into the ground. Like they are so freaking solid with themselves and what they bring to the table and how they can support clients and with their strategy and their offers. It really, like, my heart could explode right now talking about it because it makes that much of a difference. I thought in the past, like my CPA certification or my accounting degree or my QuickBooks Pro advisor or, the level of, CPAs and attorneys and real estate agents and bankers that I knew in the Charleston area and how they could refer me. Like, I thought all of that was where, like, the results would come from. And literally, it has to all come back to self-trust. Like, um, so where I see people go wrong, where I see this disconnect here, what's that level of not having self-trust typically looks like is people who are constantly tweaking their offers, constantly tweaking their prices, instead of fully embodying it and selling it and stepping into it and owning what they bring to the table. This level of distrust kind of looks like thinking a certification or a program will save you or prove that you're ready. I literally had a client hire me. It was either between hiring me or going back to school for another degree. And she already had multiple degrees. She's like multiple master's degrees. Like she good. But she was about to go take out a big fat student loan, go back to school, work during the day, study at night, all of this stuff, because she thought that next degree would be how she could 3x her rates. Like we 3x her rates and like filled her roster really quickly. And she got much higher in ROI than if she'd gone back to school for another certification. Because like, yes, you need to be who you say you are. Yes, my clients are really like the top tier of what they do. They have the certifications, the degrees, the experience, like they're badasses. But it's not like another degree, another certification, another Zero or QuickBooks or Gusto or ADP or whatever, certification is going to be the thing that finally gets someone to pay 3x your rates. Like that's not the thing. That's where does self-trust look like? Is that a word? Maybe I'm making up words. And then the pricing, the changing the pricing. I see this all the time when people don't fundamentally trust themselves. They're kind of just like blowing in the wind. Like, oh, this person told me I was too expensive. Oh, I need to change the price. Or this person over here is selling this and they're offering it like this and their support looks like this and their price looks like this. Let me just do that because they're obviously successful. Or, this person over here, I want to do one-to-one, but this person over here is doing groups or a course. So they're successful, so I need to do that. So that's what all of this comes down to. Like I only offer one-to-one. That's why my clients get great results. Not all of my clients offer one-to-one or even want to, but I can support them to figure out what the right container is that they want to show in and support their clients in. I know how to help them sell it. So it's not like it has to look like my offer, but we help them have the self-trust and just to have the awareness of what they bring to the table and present it and sell it in a way that helps them shine and that creates and helps the transformation on the other side for their clients. That is self-trust. Putting on the earmuffs, not looking around at what everyone in your industry is doing or what the successful people is doing is self-trust. The other thing I see, is wondering why the funnel didn't work or a lot of people, like when they get in this online space or realize that the online space is a thing, they go out and they sign up for every PDF. They sign up for every training. And like, I love trainings. I get some badass high touch trainings like 3 times a year. I go live here in this group every week. Like, I know my free trainings are so valuable, but what I see, this level of dis self trust, is that they think it's just like a PDF away, or a if I just sign up for this thing, or I just listen to enough podcasts, or I just get this training, or this 17, dollar copy paste thing. Like, they're so putting their trust into all the other things. Like how I did it with, like, okay, it must be my pricing. It must be this. Like, it's just another version of that. Um, Fortunately, I kind of nipped that in the bud quickly and realized after those two failed investments, like, I just went for one-to-one. It was honestly cheaper than those investments with a much higher level of support. My one-to-one, I've been told, is cheaper than masterminds that most people do. I know it's not cheap, but for the ROI, for how much I show up for my clients, it's like the best deal. Like this morning, I was spent my time looking over a training. A client, we're redoing her training for a cold audience. I went in and left a ton of notes, a ton of feedback. I was just doing a client's landing page on Friday. She already messaged me back, like, thank you, this is so amazing. Like, she feels so good. And so I know this level of support and this level of specificity and knowing my clients is really what is like the game changer, and not just like, let me get this generic PDF or this generic funnel. Because without self-trust, none of the strategy stuff is going to work. Um, what's my note here? Again, like, what makes those things work or not work is the level of self-trust that you have. And this is like why I work with my clients so deeply on this, because if they're in a position where they are wanting to change, are wanting to tweak, are wanting to go in this direction, I'm there to kind of bring them back and be like, what's really going on here? Is this really what your business needs? Is this really what the data is telling us? Is this really like the gap we need to close? Or is this kind of like your more comfortable place? Because I know a lot of clients, they're more comfortable tweaking the website, or more comfortable worrying about the logo, or more comfortable getting branding photos, when like the real work is you aren't saying what you need to say, or the real work is you don't fundamentally trust yourself that this offer is going to help someone get a transformation. What's really going on is, you don't trust yourself to like stick with this funnel that may look different from someone else. Like, my clients all have different funnels. Some of them are all online. Some of them are all offline. Some of them are hybrid in between. If they're looking for someone else to give them like the perfect strategy, like, because the self-trust is the skill that makes any of that work. It's why I don't have like, month one we do this, month two we do this, month three we do this. Like, it's like all of these strategies work. This fundamentally works. Marketing works. Like, Facebook groups work, ads work, networking works. All of it works. It's just, does it work for you? Does it work for your life? Do you trust yourself to fully commit and show up to that? And then when it's uncomfortable, sit in that gap, because that's part of self-trust, because results do take time. Like, I am all for doubling your revenue and filling your roster in like 2 months. But in reality, a new strategy support takes 30, 60, 90 days to play out. So we have to be willing to sit in the muck of, what does that mean? What are we making it mean? Trusting myself that I'm getting in front of my people, that I'm talking to my people. Like, that gap is when people don't trust themselves and they switch to something else, and it never has time to build momentum. It never has time to play out. And so that is like how deeply this level of self-trust goes. Um, this is why my clients can raise their rates. They can have a strategy that might look different than someone else online. Like, we have the trust and help them fully show up and feel grounded in what they're doing. Again, whether it looks like everybody else in their industry or it looks totally different, like that level of self-trust and like fully being on board with it, instead of being like, well, maybe we should do this. Maybe we should tweak that. Now I'm questioning my rates. This person said this, or I got feedback from this. And like, yes, we will take real feedback all day long, but we're not just going to change your offers and pricing because, someone was like, said something about it. Like, that is where, like, it is totally fine for someone to have an opinion, but we get the right people in and they're a hell yes to your offers, and we don't have to worry about the rest of the people who aren't the right fit. So I think it is helpful. Let me know if y'all have questions. Like, I know we got somebody here live being very quiet. Maybe I'm just explaining all of this perfectly, which I would love. But if you have questions, thoughts, reflections, throw them at me because that's what this is for. I have my notes. I'm all prepared, but I'm also ready to, if you have any questions. So let me see. What was I talking about next? Oh, the outside business example I love because especially this time of year, it is so in our face. But if you're thinking about like, we can think about confidence. Like self-trust to me is kind of like confidence. Like if you want to go out and buy new makeup or buy a new outfit or change your hair, do the diet program, but you don't actually believe in yourself or have confidence in yourself or believe that you're actually worthy. The hole is still there. Like you can buy all the makeup. We know people who do this. You can have all the makeup. You can have all the clothes. But if you fundamentally don't feel worthy as a person or good enough or like you can just exist without all that stuff, it doesn't, the clothes and the makeup doesn't fix that. None of it fundamentally changes how you show up. None of it fundamentally changes your confidence. I looked up some stats because I was just curious. The beauty industry is over 677 billion a year. And that's because people are buying this stuff thinking it's going to fix some hole in their self that they've not filled. The diet industry, and this is all like rough numbers. I'm sure there's like data out there that gets a little bit better, but the diet industry is over 70 billion a year. I would think it would be even higher, but that's what it said. Women, I looked up Botox. Women spent over 4.1 billion on Botox in 2023 alone. So it's probably been up since then. And this is like, it makes me sad, like saying all of this stuff because none of that is fundamentally changing someone's confidence. It's not fundamentally changing how worthy they feel. It doesn't fundamentally change anything. It's just kind of like a mask they can put on and try to stuff everything else down, and it doesn't change anything. And this is what I see happen in our industry. It's a multi-billion-dollar industry as well. Courses, programs, masterminds. There are some great things out there, and so much of it is not going to work. It's not going to fill the hole if you don't fundamentally trust yourself. You can spend money and throw money at the problem all day long, but if you can't fix what's internal, none of that shit matters. Like, none of those things fundamentally give you confidence or make you feel worthy. If you're, confident and you feel worthy, like, it's fun. I got a new eyebrow pencil the other week. Like, I love it. I way over tweezed my eyebrows in high school because that was the thing to do. And as I'm getting older, they're getting more sparse. I bought a new eyebrow pencil and like, I freaking love it. But I'm not like searching for it to like fill this void and this hole inside of me. It's like when my clients hire me after they've done the courses and programs, it's like, okay, we've looked externally. We've looked for all of that. Even some of the feedback I gave one of my clients recently on her landing page, I typically do like a really deep dive review once. And then if you have questions or specific things you want to know, happy to answer them. But I don't typically do more than one review. So I did a second review, which I told her, I was like, don't normally do this, happy to do it. She asked for a third, and this is like totally fine because I talk about, I guess, unlimited support. But I had to reflect to her, like, it actually doesn't serve you for me to keep looking at everything at this level and depth because it's going to undermine your self-trust. Like, I do not want to disempower you. I don't want to be the teacher that's like, you have to hand it in to me and I have to sign off on it before you do anything. So that's part of my job as a one-to-one coach is helping you curate self-trust, not taking it away. That's what I see so much, happen in the online space. They're either avoiding it totally or their self-trust is getting just squashed. I see that with ChatGPT. I see so many people losing their voice, losing their messaging, watering down their messaging because they're trusting ChatGPT more. And it's detrimental to their business. Like the self-trust has to be there. That is why I am full on in deep with my clients, but I'm also helping them build self-trust. I want them to be a multi 6 and 7 figure business owner for years and years and years to come, whether they're working with me or not. Like, yes, definitely they'll get an ROI, like term in the long term, but it does them no good if I'm destroying their self-trust while we work together. Like, it doesn't make sense. And so that's always something I'm very mindful of. Like, the tools, oh, everything disappeared. We can use all these things as tools, like the makeup, the diets, Botox, whatever. It's fun. Go for it. But don't expect it to fundamentally fix you. And that's the same thing with the online space, with courses, programs, even one-to-one support. It needs to come from someone who's not going to like take away your self-trust or disempower you. I am like 1000% on board with a shit ton of support and going deep and helping them build their self-trust. Like, that is the fundamental piece. I know I've been talking about this, but I'm going to get off my soapbox here. Yeah, it's like when you think everything is like, I'm ugly, no one likes me, that's when you go out and spend all this stuff, or buy all this stuff thinking that that will fix it. It's the same thing in business. You think the website refresh or the branding photos or the logo or the sign or the trending reels audio membership or the perfect funnel will fix it, and that's just not the thing. Like, if you don't fundamentally trust yourself to show up for all of those things, it isn't going to work. Like, I can use myself as an example. I don't think I've ever had anyone who's been like, Jordan, I hired you because you had the perfect email, or I saw this post and it was the perfectly worded post, or your masterclass was just like the most perfect thing I've ever seen, or even these live streams. Like, I look at my notes, I stumble over my words, I repeat myself. Like, no one's been like, wow, this is just like the most perfect thing. But I fundamentally just trust myself to like give it my all, show up, be my authentic self, speak off the cuff, share results, share what's possible, and just trust that like the right people come in and they pick that up and they feel that. Because otherwise I would question every single thing. It would take me hours to write notes for these. It would take me hours to do a reel. It would take hours if I was constantly questioning everything. And especially in this day and age when people are buying relationships, they are buying you, they are buying the human. You've got to trust yourself to be able to show up for that and be imperfect. Say something that, you know, might not make sense. I have typos in my, like, I'll like read my stories like multiple times before I post it, and then I'm like, dang it, there's still a typo. How did that happen? Like, that shit just happens. Like, you've got to just fundamentally trust yourself to show up as a real human. And like, I'm talking about the throat chakra here, like, open up from that place and have conversations, whether it's online or offline. Like, that's what's going to make any strategy pop. So, you know, when we lean into trust, when I leaned into self-trust, that's when my offer took off. Like, yes, I had the offer. Yes, I had the sales process. Yes, I had, you know, a funnel and all those things that are so important. But when I trusted myself, I showed up so differently. That's when booking clients just felt easy. That's when people kind of came out of the woodworks. It's just kind of like, okay, like, this is when momentum just builds, when you just fundamentally like kind of show up and you're like, I'm good. Because when you think about it, raising rates, like my clients, you know, who hire me typically want to raise their rates. Sometimes it's 2x, sometimes it's 3x, sometimes it's 5x, sometimes it's more than that. What it comes down to is like, raising rates is like, you just change a number on a website or on a spreadsheet or on a document or on your booking platform or on your QuickBooks invoices. Like, it's pretty simple. But if you don't fundamentally trust yourself, that price change is not going to do anything. I mean, it's the same with anything else. Anything else is so simple on paper. If it only came down to that, we'd all be millionaires. But it's so much more than that. It is that self-trust piece behind the price, the rate increase, behind the new badass high ticket offer, behind the sales process that on the outside may look simple AF, but it works because you work it, because you trust it and you show up and you have the right support to stay in it and to say the thing and to be able to navigate the sticky money conversations. Like, all of that works. It's simple on the outside, but if you don't have the self-trust to back it up, it's not going to work. So again, that's when the self-trust that I curated with my one-to-one coach really allowed me to raise my rates.
attract just higher quality clients. I can sell a $9,000 offer easier and faster than I can sell a low ticket $350 bookkeeping client. Like, there's no comparison. It is so much easier and simpler, but all that other stuff has to be there. I've been able to scale to over 230K every year, working less, taking a month off in the summer to be with my kids and take them to the mountains in North Carolina. Like, all of that self-trust is what made all of my strategy work. Every single piece of it. You can look at my strategy, you can follow it. It is not complicated. It is not difficult. It is not perfect in any way, but the reason that it works is because I fully back it. I'm on board with it. I back myself. I back what I bring to the table. I back the support I bring to my clients and the ROI on the other side of it. Like, I got myself. And that's what I'm supporting my one-to-one clients to build, that level of self-trust, that level of like their results are intentional and sustainable. And it's not like stretching ourselves into this crazy strategy that we're contorting ourselves and our business and lives around. It's literally just like us creating what we want and then showing up for it, which sounds so simple, I know, but it's so hard to do alone. Like, it's why my clients hire me. It's why they haven't gotten results in other containers. And then they come here and it's like, oh shit, like all bets are off. Like, we're popping the top off of this thing. Like, I love it. But we'll wrap this up. Like, if you've been looking for the thing, if you've been outsourcing your power, outsourcing your results, outsourcing your strategy, your thought leadership to something else, that's the opportunity to really bring it in, really cultivate that self-trust so that all of that other stuff works. Just like the lipstick doesn't change who you are as a person. Like, it's fun, it's beautiful, but like, you've got to fundamentally feel like you're worthy without the lipstick, without the lashes, without your hair done. Like, that is exactly what it's like in business with prices, offers, funnels. So it's that self-trust piece. And if you're sitting there and you're like, I'm spinning out, I'm constantly tweaking, I'm constantly wondering, is my offer okay? Is my price okay? This other person's doing this. Like, let's have a chat. Like, again, I am full for now, booking out until early 2026, but we want to really think about, your offers, your strategy, your funnel, the simple things that need to be in place. And from there, we're looking at the gaps. Like, where are you questioning yourself? Where are you backpedaling? Where are you thinking you need another degree? Where are you thinking you need to give a deep discount just to book someone? Where are you thinking you need to convince someone to hire you? That is why one-to-one is so beneficial. It's why 4.5 years into this, I only offer one-to-one. Together, we can do this. We can solve the right problem. We can close the right gap, because you can chase strategies and trying to fill the gap with all these other things. But I would love to be here with you to actually create an intentional and sustainable business that is built on self-trust, that even if you change your strategy, even if Instagram goes away tomorrow or something changes online, like, you fundamentally trust yourself to be able, like, well, I know how to talk to my people, so I'm just going to pivot over here and I'm just going to do it over here. Like, that is the level of self-trust that helps us to navigate any changes, any sticky economies, any trust recessions, all of this stuff is like based on self-trust and being able to like navigate anything. It's because everything is always changing. So you can spend years and tons of money and tons of time chasing all the other stuff that you think is gonna like fix this or make you worthy or make this better or make this easier. But if you don't have the right support, if you don't fundamentally back yourself and have someone there with you to reflect where you're playing small, where you're questioning yourself, where you're looking for problems that just don't exist, it is so much harder to double, triple, 5x your revenue. So again, you can stay stuck and spiraling and wondering what you're missing, or grab a one-to-one consult, see what one-to-one support could be like so that you can actually have the self-trust to make any offer and any strategy work. So I think that's it. Let me know if you have questions. Again, we're booking out for 2026. So I keep a very small roster. Over half of my roster has been with me for over 4 years. I've got a 100% renewal rate for the past 6 months. I keep it tiny. I'm like a tiny little diner that you gotta like wait for the next seat to open before you can come in. And that's something I'm very proud of. I take it as a deep honor and privilege to be in the muck, be in the challenges with my clients, be with them when they're questioning and spiraling and spinning. I'm here for it. That's just kind of who I am and what I've signed up for in my business. I love it. That's just like who I am. I'm not doing groups and programs, but this is, again, the work that I love and like why I fundamentally love being a one-to-one coach, because like I love problem solving and I love like detail-oriented work and I love strategies, and I just love supporting humans to like step into self-trust, own their voice, own their work. I mean, pretty much all my clients are women, and it is so freaking cool because women, in my opinion, you know, we're the ones that change the world. When we have more money in our pockets, we're the ones going out and donating it to schools or making our environment more beautiful or cleaning up the trash or donating for a park bench. Like, we're the ones who do that. And so this work is so much deeper than just making more money. Like, I'm here for all of that. And I love seeing my clients just fundamentally shift into the women and like the person that their soul is meant to be. It's not something I take lightly. I honor this and really cherish this work. So if you've been thinking about one-to-one support, grab a consult and we can chat about 2026. But next week is Thanksgiving. We'll skip next week, but I'll be back after that, and see you soon. Bye.